Despite all the carnage on Monday, where basically every asset was getting pounded as inflation soars, the Fed's raising rates, really backed into a corner. Yet, despite all of that, late Monday night, all of a sudden, the forecasts for a 75 basis point hike are coming into play. Well, hello there, my friends. Chris Marcus here with you for Arcadia Economics. And a quick video this morning about what now appears to be a 75 basis point rate hike coming from the Federal Reserve tomorrow. We'd be hearing a lot of expectations about a 50 basis point hike with some talk about 75 basis points, but despite all the carnage on Monday, where basically every asset was getting pounded as inflation soars, the Fed's raising rates, really backed into a corner. Yet, despite all of that, late Monday night, all of a sudden, the forecasts for a 75 basis point hike are coming into play. Here you see the CNBC coverage, and Fed policymakers are entertaining the idea of a 75 basis point rate increase this week. According to CNBC's Steve Leisman, now, I don't know how Steve is getting this information. Is the Fed feeding him before the rest of the market? I don't know who Steve is talking to or exactly what his sources is, but here central bank policymakers are entertaining the idea of the 75 basis point hike that banks charge each other. According to Steve Leisman, my personal belief is a lot of this stuff gets leaked to the banks and other counterparties before it's announced to the rest of the public. Can I prove that? No, but an even money bet, I would certainly take that side. And as you can see, though, it's not just Steve. Earlier Monday afternoon, JP Morgan now sees Fed hiking 75 basis points on Wednesday, sees risk of 100 basis points. One might wonder whether the true surprise would actually be hiking 100 basis points, something JP Morgan thinks is a non-trivial risk. Obviously, JP Morgan, maybe not who you want to take all of your advice from, but they're also out there calling for 75 basis points, seeing a risk of 100. Here you see Goldman goes to 75 basis points, including 75 basis point hikes in June and July. Wow, if they're we see what's happening to the markets already. And they're going to raise 150 basis points in June and July. Again, this is Goldman Sachs, not the Fed itself, although maybe they're on that Steve Leisman list. You can make your own conclusions about that one. Although here you see again on Zero Hedge site, Goldman joins the 75 basis point bandwagon, yet also warns that it will trigger recession. Clearly, they must have hired a fresh new round of genius MBAs to calculate that one. I don't know. I guess to me, it's a little insignificant. Wall Street's definition of a recession. You see the pain that's being inflicted. I mean, and of course, taking a step back, it's an inherently silly system by design, where when things go bad, the Fed prints a lot of money, never talks about what's going to happen when they unprint the money. And we're finding out now, not a surprise. Here, Yahoo reporting worse than Lehman, a huge rout triggers some terrible moments. So what we saw on Monday sure reminded me a lot of 2008. And if the Fed's really going to go with the 75er, it'll probably seem a lot more like 2008. Again, another note from Zero Hedge, odds of a 75 basis point hike hit 95%. I'm assuming they're backing that out from the Fed funds futures, and certainly that seems to be in line with the commentary that we are hearing here. So just wanted to pass that along. I'm sure you're seeing it out there, but it is happening. And not surprisingly, you can see some of the effects that are being felt. Housing affordability hits record low as mortgage rates soar to 6.1%. You can see how that has really shot up in just these last few months. And while I do think the Fed is concerned about the stock market crashing, what I think will really be the real problem for them is handling the mortgage market. That was what led them to begin QE back in 2008, and especially with housing being such a large portion of the economy. We'll see how long they sit by and watch that happen, but At least those are the reports coming out. Now we're looking at 75 basis points. I think the 1% hike that JP Morgan cites an outside chance. I wouldn't be shocked if that happens, I'll say, but looks like 75 coming. So either case, just something to be prepared for. And one last note before we wrap up, would like to thank Sierra Madre for bringing us today's video. Sierra Madre Gold and Silver, which is moving its projects into production. Not just yet, though, which actually would be kind of handy if you wait until all this mayhem in the markets is over. So about a year or two from now, hopefully by then we will finally see a silver price that matches the incredible amount of money that has been printed. And again, you may have seen that Sierra Madre acquired the Guitarra Gold-Silver mine from First Majestic Silver a few weeks back. And fortunately, we had Alex Langer and Greg Liller from Sierra Madre on the show to talk about that and to find out a little bit more about that deal. Well, that's coming your way now.